Welcome back, Maniacs, to Talk Maniac, where history gets a caffeine shot and a kick in the pants. Today, we're tearing into the Punic Wars, 3 rounds of Rome versus Carthage that were basically the ancient world's version of a cage match. But we're not just here for the gore, we're dissecting the tactics, the brainiac moves, and the absolute lunacy that made these wars legendary. So strap on your sandals, grab a sword, and maybe a snack for your war elephant, because this is about to get nuts. Round 1, the First Punic War. Picture this. Carthage is the undisputed king of the seas with sleek warships and sailors who could navigate blindfolded. Rome? They're like, boats? Sure, we've seen a river once. But here's where it gets good. The Romans didn't just want to play catch-up. They flipped the script with a tactic so wild, it's like they Googled how to win naval battles without knowing how to sail. Enter the Corvus? This thing was a giant spiky gangplank. Think of it as Rome's way of saying, we suck at sailing, so let's just turn this into a land battle on your ship. They'd ram it into enemy decks, lock the boats together, and send their legionaries, aka the ancient world's toughest bouncers, swarming over to club Carthaginians into next week. At the Battle of Mylae in 260 BCE, they smashed 50 Carthaginian ships with this move. Imagine the Carthaginian admiral, wait, we're losing because these lunatics brought a ladder to a boat fight? And the cherry on top? Rome reverse-engineered a wrecked Carthaginian ship to build their fleet, like pirating a pirate's playbook. By 241 BCE at the Battle of the Aegates Islands, they'd sunk or captured 120 enemy ships. Carthage was so broke after that, they had to sign a peace deal and pay Rome 3,200 talents of silver. That's like losing a war and your credit score in one go. Round 2, the Second Punic War, where Hannibal Barca said, I'm not just gonna fight Rome, I'm gonna make them cry uncle. This guy didn't mess around. He grabbed 40,000 troops, 12,000 cavalry, and, oh yeah, 37 war elephants, then marched them from Spain over the Alps into Italy. That's 900 miles of are we there yet? With pachyderms slipping on ice and locals throwing rocks. Half his army didn't even make it, but the half that did? Absolute chaos machines. Hannibal's big brain moment came at the Battle of Cannae in 216 BCE. 50,000 Romans versus his 40,000, and he still wiped the floor with them. His tactic? The double envelopment. He set up a crescent formation, let the Romans charge the center like overconfident jocks, then had his flanks swoop in like a giant bear hug of death. The Romans were so packed in they couldn't even swing their swords, 70,000 dead in one day. Hannibal's like, checkmate, losers. I just turned your army into a human sandwich. Rome's counter-tactic? Panic and pray. They finally got smart with Fabius Maximus, who said, let's not fight him head-on, let's just stalk him like clingy X's. This Fabian strategy wore Hannibal down over years, but the real KO came at Zama in 202 BCE. Scipio Africanus copied Hannibal's playbook, used cavalry to flank, and sent those elephants running back into Carthage's own lines. Imagine the chaos. Oh no! Jumbo's on our side now! Carthage surrendered, and Hannibal's elephant dreams were toast. Round 3, the Third Punic War. Rome's like, we're done playing nice. Carthage was already a shadow of its former self, but Rome decided it was time for the ultimate vibe check. Their tactic? Siege warfare so brutal it's basically ancient cancel culture. They locked Carthage in a chokehold for 3 years, blockaded the ports, cut off food, and turned the city into a real-life Hunger Games. By 146 BCE, the Romans stormed in, led by Scipio Aemilianus, Scipio Africanus' adopted grandson because nepotism never dies. Carthage fought street by street, hurling pots and pans when the swords ran out. But Rome? Ruthless. They torched the city, sold 50,000 survivors into slavery, and get this, salted the earth so nothing would grow. That's not a victory lap. That's Rome saying, you're not just beaten, you're erased. Enjoy your new career as a desert. Fun fact, modern historians debate if the salting actually happened. It'd take a lot of salt, but the vibe? Pure Roman pettiness. Carthage went from Mediterranean hotspot to a parking lot in 3 years flat. So, Maniacs, the Punic Wars were a masterclass in tactics and tantrums. Rome's Corvus turned naval battles into bar brawls, Hannibal's canny trap made Roman generals question their life choices, and the Third War's siege was Rome's way of saying, we don't just win, we obliterate. These weren't just wars, they were flexes of strategy, stamina, and spite. What's the takeaway? Never bring a boat to a ladder fight, don't trust elephants in snow, and if Rome's mad, just pack up and leave before they salt your Wi-Fi. Absolute madness. That's a wrap, Maniacs. Which tactic blew your mind? The Corvus, Hannibal's trap, or Rome's salty revenge? Drop it in the comments and tell me, would you ride an elephant into battle? Smash that like button, subscribe for more unhinged history, and I'll catch you next time for something even crazier. Maybe gladiators versus pirates, who knows? Stay maniacal.